Okay, so today we'll be doing a mini revision on your life cycles. So make sure that you have attempted this paper on your own before you start watching the video on the answers. Okay, so let's look at question 1. So for question 1, right, they classified your beetle, moth, housefly under your group 1, and cockroach, grasshopper, and dragonfly will be under your group 2. Okay, so for the correct answer for question 1, right, will be option 3. Okay, so for option 3, they state that animals in group 1 have 4 stages of development in their life cycles, while animals in group 2 have 3. So in your group 1, right, beetle, moth, and housefly, they actually have 4 stages in their life cycles. Okay, whereas for grasshopper, cockroach, and dragonfly, they only have 3 stages in their life cycles. So the 3 stages will be egg, and after your egg will be nymph, which will then become an adult. Okay, so let's go through the other 3 options, right, and find out why they are wrong, okay? So for option 1, right, they say that animals in group 1 are insects, while animals in group 2 are not insects. So this, we know that it is wrong because your cockroach, grasshopper, and dragonfly, they are also insects, okay? So option 2 states that animals in group 1 reproduce from eggs, but animals in group 2 do not reproduce from eggs. Since we know that cockroach, grasshopper, and your dragonfly are also insects, right, under your group 2, so all insects reproduce by laying eggs. Okay, so we know that number 2 is wrong because they say that animals in group 2 do not reproduce from eggs. All right, then we look at option 4. Young of animals in group 1 have wings, but the young of animals in group 2 do not have wings. So this is also wrong. Your dragonfly, grasshopper, and some of your cockroach, right? They also have wings, okay? Okay, so once we're done with this, we move on to the next part here. Okay, so a wriggler is the larva of a mosquito, right? So what does a wriggler develop from? So develop from, that means we want the stage before it becomes a wriggler. So the stage before a larva, right, will be an egg. So we have to say that it developed from a fertilized egg. So all eggs have to be fertilized before it can, all eggs have to be fertilized before it can even develop into a larva or into the next stage, okay? For part B, what will the wriggler develop into? Okay, so long as you see larva in your life cycle, right, that will mean that it belongs to a 4-stage life cycles. So for mosquitoes, they actually have 4 stages life cycle, okay? So they will start from egg. After egg will be a larva, which is called wriggler for mosquito. And your third stage will be pupa. And lastly, it will become an adult mosquito. Okay, so after your wriggler, which is the larva, it will become a pupa. Okay, so we say that it will develop into a pupa. Okay, for part C, at which stage of the development of a butterfly is it similar to the wriggler? So for wriggler, we know that it is a larva, right? So for butterfly, it also has a 4 stages life cycle. So for butterfly, the larva will be called caterpillar. Okay, so we just say that it is similar to the wriggler when it is a caterpillar. Okay, so just make sure to check through your answers. If you have the correct answers, just mark your answers yourself, okay? Just put a tick. Just put a tick. If it's wrong, then just do a correction. Okay, then we move on to the second page. Okay, so for question 2, right, we need to draw diagrams to represent the life cycles of the following animals. So first one, we have a cow. So cow is actually a mammal, right? So mammals will only have 3 stages in their life cycles. Okay, so for your cow, right, they will also start with an egg. Okay, so your egg, the next stage will be your young cow. So young cow will also be called a calf. Okay, after that, your young cow, right, will grow into an adult cow. Then from here, your adult cow will reproduce eggs. Reproduce by laying eggs, right? So after that, it will continue. Okay, so for part B, we have your cockroach. Okay, so earlier on in the MCQ, we mentioned that cockroach has a 3-stage life cycle, right? So same thing for cockroach, it will start with an egg. Okay, after your egg, right, in your 3-stage life cycle for your insects, we will call it a nymph. Okay, then your nymph will grow into an adult cockroach. After which your adult cockroach will reproduce by laying eggs again. Okay, so make sure you get all the stages and the spellings correct. Then we'll move on to your part C, which is a bee. So for a bee, right, it is also an insect, but it actually has 4 stages in its life cycle. Okay, so same thing, right, for your bee, it will start with an egg. For 4 stages in life cycle, right, we always go to larva next. Okay, after larva will be pupa. Okay, and finally the last stage will be your adult bee. And your adult bee will reproduce by laying eggs again. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Corinne carried out some investigations to find out what are necessary for seeds to germinate. She recorded the results of her investigations in the table below. So from the results, right, what is or are not necessary for seeds to germinate? So to recap, right, for your germination, we will need your 3 conditions, correct? Your WOW, W-O-W. So we have your water, oxygen, and warmth. These are the 3 conditions that are required for germination to occur, okay, or for seeds to germinate. So, which means to say we only need water here, air, which is your oxygen, okay, and your warmth. Okay, but we look at the table, right? If the question is asking you for what are not necessary for seeds to germinate, right? It means that even without that factor or even without that variable, the seeds are still able to germinate. Okay, so we will have, you see your yes, started to grow, right? So all these 3. So all these are present. Okay, whereas for here, right, the second one, we have your soil, which is not present. See, your soil is absent. Okay, and lastly for your D, right, see here, your light is absent. So from the table, we will know that your soil and your light, right, are not necessary for seeds to germinate. We will not look at seed C, right, because seed C did not even grow. So that means seed C did not germinate. So we cannot determine the conditions that are required or not required for the seed C to germinate. Okay, so only your soil and light. So we say that the presence of soil and light are not necessary for seeds to germinate. Okay, so we derive our answers from the table given in the question. For part B, when carrying out her investigations, Corinne made sure that she used the same types of seeds. So why did she do that? So since she's only trying to find out what are the necessary conditions for seeds to germinate, right? You must remember that there can only be one different variable in each experiment. Okay, so the seeds must be the same type so that the experiment will be fair. Okay, so we just say that this is to make sure that the test is fair, or we can say that is to make sure that it is a fair test, or to ensure that it is a fair test. Okay, so long as you are doing an experiment, right? An experiment can only have one different variable. All the other variables must be constant. They must be kept the same. You cannot have more than one changed variable. All right. Okay, so this is the end of the life cycles mini revision.